You ever clean your house, but still feel cluttered? Like you emptied drawers, sorted the boxes, labeled everything, but nothing really changed? Yeah, that's because most of us are decluttering completely backwards. We're tossing the wrong stuff, keeping what's breaking us, and calling it minimalism. But it's not. It's noise, fake progress, and it's keeping us trapped. In this video, I'm going to show you the raw truth behind why 90% of people are doing this all wrong, and how to finally set yourself free. The lie we tell ourselves about one last thing. There's always one more thing, right? One more drawer, one more shelf, one more thing you might use next summer. Maybe that's the lie, the one last thing lie. And we tell it to ourselves every time we start decluttering. We hold it, we pause, we squint and say this could be useful. It rarely is, but still we cling. That clinging? It's not logic. It's fear. Fear of waste. Fear of regret. Fear that letting go might mean we lose something bigger. Some memory, some comfort, some part of who we used to be. I had a blender once, untouched for years, but expensive, gifted, and it sat there like some small appliance altar to guilt. I kept it because it felt wrong not to. I called it useful when it was just baggage. Took me 3 years to let it go. 3. That's not decluttering. That's denial wearing good intentions. That's backwards. When storage becomes a trap, not a solution. You ever notice how storage feels like success? Neatly labeled boxes, woven baskets, modular cabinets that look minimalist. But don't be fooled. Storage is not success. Sometimes it's just where clutter goes to hide. See, the modern home is designed to contain, not to question. Storage is sold as freedom, but really, it just gives us more excuses to keep what we don't need. And when the containers fill up, we buy more, slide them under beds, stack them in closets, rent units miles away. Out of sight, out of mind. But it's not gone. It's waiting. And that wait, it adds up. I once found a box marked winter stuff. Opened it after 2 years. Scarves, a broken candle, and a single mitten. That was it. Could have donated that years ago. Instead, I stored guilt in a tidy bin. Felt organized, but wasn't free. That's the trap. Looks clean. Feels heavy. The silent pressure of maybe someday. There's this shelf in every house. Might be a box, might be a bag, but it's full of maybe someday. That's the most dangerous category. Things we're saving for a version of us we haven't become, and probably never will. The ice skates from high school. The camera for that photography hobby we never started. The stack of books we don't really want to read. It's all hope, but hope can rot if it sits too long. I had a violin once. Bought in a burst of ambition. Played it twice. Kept it for 7 years. Told myself it mattered. That maybe someday I'd learn. But every time I saw it, I felt like a liar. Like I owed it something. You ever feel guilt from an object? That's how you know it's time to let go. Maybe someday sounds gentle, but it's not. It's a thief. Stealing space. Stealing peace. All while whispering not yet. How clutter creeps when you're not looking. You don't even notice it at first. One thing here, another thing there. A drawer that won't close. A bag that stays unpacked. Before you know it, the walls are inching in, and it didn't happen overnight. Clutter's quiet like that. Sneaky. It doesn't kick the door in. It slides under it. Grows in corners. Gathers dust, but not attention. And you wake up one morning and wonder how the place got so heavy. I remember this box I had, full of wires, chargers, old headphones, random electronics. Couldn't even say what half of it belonged to. But I kept it, just in case. For years. Moved it across 3 apartments. Never opened it. And when I finally did, nothing inside worked. That's the thing about clutter. It survives off your hesitation, off your silence. And the longer you don't deal with it, the more it settles in. Like moss, like mold, when letting go feels like grief. We don't talk enough about the sadness. Real decluttering, it hurts. It's not just organizing your home. Sometimes it's mourning your past. The wedding dress from a marriage that didn't last. The baby clothes from a child who's now taller than you. The journals you swore you'd finish. These things are soaked in memory. And letting them go, it can feel like betrayal. I cried over a blanket once. My grandmother's, torn and faded, smelled like her. Letting go felt like erasing her. But then I realized I wasn't letting go of her. I was letting go of the guilt, the pressure to keep something that was already gone. Minimalism isn't heartless. It's healing, but healing ain't painless. Sometimes the hardest clutter to remove isn't junk. It's history, and you can't KonMari your way through that. You gotta feel it, sit in it, and when you're ready, really ready, you let go. The myth of sentimental value. We throw that phrase around like armor. Sentimental value. But let's be honest, sometimes it's just a shield. A way to justify keeping what we're too scared to confront. Every drawer has something labeled sentimental, but not all of it deserves the title. Real sentiment? It's in the stories, not the stuff. I once had an old notebook from college. Pages torn, half blank, but I kept it because I thought it meant something. Truth? I hadn't opened it in a decade. Couldn't even remember what was inside. When I finally tossed it, nothing happened. No regret, no loss, just space. Clarity. That's the thing. If it really matters, the memory stays even when the object doesn't. And if you forget it, then maybe it wasn't that important to begin with. That's not cold. That's honest. The clutter we pass on without knowing. Minimalism's not just about what we carry. It's about what we pass on. See, our clutter doesn't end with us. We hand it down to kids, partners, anyone who'll take it. We don't say, here's my baggage. We say, you might need this. But really, we're just transferring the weight. I've seen garages full of inherited stuff. Grandparents' china, old photos, antique tools no one knows how to use. It's a burden wrapped in nostalgia, and no one wants to be the one to throw it away. So it sits, unused, unloved, untouched. That's not legacy. That's a landmine. The bravest thing you can do is let go before it becomes someone else's problem. Don't leave a trail of maybe someday junk behind. Leave space. Leave peace. What real minimalism feels like, finally. It's not dramatic. There's no parade. No fireworks when it hits. Just this soft silence. A lightness in the room. A drawer that opens clean. A morning where nothing gets in your way. That's what real minimalism feels like. It's not a vibe, not a look. It's a feeling. Calm, control, contentment. I remember the first time I woke up in a room that finally felt done. No piles, no maybes, just light, just air. Took months, maybe years, but it stuck. And now, when something new tries to come in, I pause. I ask questions. I don't just add, I curate. And that word, curate, that's the key. Your life, your home, your time, it's all art. You get to decide what belongs and what doesn't. That's the power minimalism gives back to you. The curse of it's still good though, that phrase, it's still good though, might be the biggest reason our homes are bursting at the seams. We say it about everything, shirts that don't fit, mugs we never use, decorations that clash with who we are now. It's the curse of condition over connection. We keep stuff not because it serves us, but because it hasn't gone bad yet. But something doesn't have to be broken to be useless. I had this toaster, clean, shiny, still worked fine, but I hated it. Burned every slice. Took up too much space. Yet I held on to it for years. Because what was still good though? That thinking keeps us trapped. It asks the wrong question. Not do I like this? Not do I use this? Just is it broken? And if it's not, it stays. That's not love. That's laziness. That's fear disguised as practicality. The moment I tossed it, I realized I don't want still good. I want right. Why we keep the expensive mistakes. There's a pile we don't talk about. The expensive mistakes. Those purchases we regret but can't let go of because they cost too much. That designer jacket we never wore. The fancy cookware that's still boxed. The treadmill turned clothes rack. The guilt in those things, it's thick. We feel like throwing them out means admitting we were wrong. So instead, we let them punish us. Let them sit there, silent reminders of money lost. I had a leather bag once. Pricey, too heavy, not my style, but I kept it, carried it once, hated it, couldn't return it. But every time I opened my closet, there it was, mocking me. Took 3 years to finally let it go. And you know what? I felt richer when it was gone. We think keeping mistakes helps us fix them. It doesn't. It keeps them alive. Best thing you can do with an expensive mistake. Own it. Learn from it. And then let it go. So if you've been decluttering for months and still feel suffocated, it's not because you're lazy. It's because the method's broken. You've been told to ask, what can I get rid of? When really the question should have been, what do I want to keep? Flip the script. Start with joy, not guilt. Choose what matters. Let the rest go. And hey, if this video gave you even one reason to look at your stuff differently, then it's done its job. This is Rustic Pantry, where we don't just clean up, we come back to life. See you in the next one.